we all have moments where things get really, really hard. And we all have moments where we just kind of feel like giving up because we wonder what the point is. And I think everybody experiences that at some point in the program. So it's completely natural to have those moments. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that and what we can do to support ourselves. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly, and we're going to talk a little bit about what to do when things suck, because sometimes they do. And we'll start with a little bit of story, which who doesn't love story time, right? And before we do, though, if you could be so kind as to please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all my latest content so you never miss a story time, I would sure appreciate it. Now that's done, let's move on. So recently, an individual in my universe was going along their merry way, living life, doing what they do, and kind of out of nowhere, lost their job. And this individual had been with the organization for almost 2 decades, right? And was just one of those cornerstone individuals that like people rallied around and really kind of built a solid culture around themselves just by the nature of who they are. And it kind of came out of nowhere. It was a shock to the people that were left, and it was just like, oh my god! Like everybody loved this person. This person did beautiful work. What in the hell just happened? Like what? And when I heard this story, I was thinking in my head like, oh my god, oh my god. So okay, well if this can happen to this person, like one day you come into work and everything's fine, and literally the next day or even in the next 5 minutes you're going along doing your thing, and then you're told, oh well, you don't have a job anymore, pack your crap and leave, right? And you're like, what? um so yeah, it kind of made me question for a hot minute, like, this individual who I admire quite a lot, I'm like, well, what? Like that just happened? Like that's not fair. Like what? And if you do everything right and this still happens, like what's even the point, right? This was my thought. Like what if this person can go from making a huge impact, doing what they love to do every single day, to that's it, you're done. You're terminated. No rhyme or reason that I know of, which I don't know the details. I've not spoken with this individual about the situation. So this is just my perspective on a situation that I am now familiar with. What's the point? What's the point in doing a good job? What's the point in striving? What's the point in trying to be the best you are at what you do? Right? It's kind of the thought that came through my head. If none of it matters ultimately, anyways, if you could do all the right things and it goes pear shaped anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it, what is the point? And the answer to that, I think, is unique to everybody, of course. But the answer to that is it gives you the opportunity to demonstrate who you are, right? I had a conversation with my leadership recently about why I do a good job. Like, I don't do it for the accolades. I don't do it for the people I serve. I mean, yes, to an extent, but that's not the motivator for me doing what I do. That's different outside of this work. I do this work for y'all because I love you and it's needed. But the work that I do in my day to day, helping people deal with incredibly complex issues that are just sometimes a complete nightmare and beyond their capacity to handle on their own. And, it's just, I go through and I just fix it. That's what I do. I've spent my whole entire life fixing things. And, I do it because it's the right thing to do. Like for me, I require no additional motivation to do a good job other than the job needs to be done well. That is my motivation. That is who I am at the core of who I am. And I've no doubt that this individual that I was just discussing in story time is more than likely like, how can I turn this into a blessing? This thing happened and maybe it's less than ideal, but how can I, where do I go from here? What do I do next? What adventure is waiting for me, right? And that's just how this person is. And I love that about them so much. And ultimately, I think bad things are going to happen. I don't think that, I know that. Bad things are going to happen to everybody, regardless of what kind of person you are, regardless of how hard you work, what you do, how valuable you are. Something's going to happen at some point, and you're not going to like it. And it's going to be a huge blow to your sense of security, maybe even your sense of self-worth, your sense of who you are. And that's coming for everyone. I mean, no one's immune. That's just the reality of the situation. And I think the best thing that you can do is kind of make your own security, as it were. I mean, obviously, you can do this financially, save your money, invest well, blah, blah, blah. But I also feel like living your life in a way that you are aligned with yourself, such that whatever comes, you recognize your competence and your ability to just roll with whatever happens. I think releasing that attachment to the idea that nothing bad will ever happen to you, because it will. I mean, that's how life works. It sucks, and there it is. I'm sorry if no one's told you before, but truly, you get nothing from believing nothing will ever happen to you, because no one's immune. Unfortunately, life happens to everybody. And I think that allowing that to be an opportunity to explore more of who you are and amplify who you are. I had this conversation with somebody recently. I'm like, when bad things happen to people, it just gives them more of an opportunity to demonstrate more fully who they are. And for better or for worse, I have found that to be true in 100% of cases. So before we have what could be considered a personal tragedy, like this experience that we just discussed, let's just take a minute to take stock. Let's just figure out for a hot minute, who we are. Let's just reflect for just a minute. Let's just notice, yes, whatever it is that I do for a living is probably important to me and to other people, whoever it is I'm serving, even if I'm not directly serving people. Maybe if I'm kind of quietly in the background doing what I do, it's still impacting people. Like, take stock of how that's important, and notice how, even if you were to lose your job or your home, your income, whatever, your security, whatever it is that brings you security, you still have all of the tools that you need to rebuild. And yes, it's going to suck for a minute. And if you need to go hide in a cave for a little while and hibernate and feel bad, you can. Absolutely, you can. You can't stay there forever, unfortunately. And you still have the skill set, the knowledge, the experience. You have everything that you need. You are your own security. You are. So take the opportunity to learn more about who you are and to grow and to just acknowledge the fact that if things go sideways or pear-shaped or however you want to describe it, you still have you. You are steadfast. You will show up for yourself. Even if you have to have a pity party for a minute before you can get there, you're still going to show up. You're still going to be there for you. You still have the tools, the skills, the resources, and the ability to make it right, whatever that is, whatever that means. You're not dependent on your job or external whatever. I mean, yes, those things are important because a lot of us are reliant on a lot of those things in order to keep ourselves going. But at the end of the day, there's going to be another job. There's going to be another house. There's going to be another friend group. There's going to be another whatever the thing is, right? You and your worth and your value and your security are not dependent on external things, right? Notice how valuable you are. I guess that's the whole point of this exercise. Just notice for a minute how valuable you are, how safe and secure, and how your safety and security are built on you. What you think, what you feel, what you know, how you behave, who you are as a being. All of that's on you. So today, I'd just like to remind you, if there are moments where things go pear-shaped, use it as an opportunity. Feel the feels first, get through that. But use it as an opportunity to reflect on what's important to you and how you are important. What speaks to your soul? What is it that you offer that no one else can? And then go find your way. Even if you have to hack through where there's no path in the jungle with a machete, go find your way. I know you can. You've already done it. Your track record is 100% on par. You've overcome everything so far. I have every faith and confidence you will continue to overcome, because that's who you are. That's what you've always done. And that's what you'll continue to do, because that's how you're built. And you're amazing. So if no one has told you today how fabulous you are, hear it from me right now. You are fabulous. You are amazing. You are wonderful. You are powerful. And you create your own security. So thank you with glitter on it for hanging out with me today. And I hope that you have a sparkly rest of your day.